Hi guys, welcome back. This is Beyond the Suds Beer Reviews. I'm your host Mike, and today we're going to be looking at Les Trois Mousquetaires American Pale Ale. Now, before I talk about the beer, I'm going to talk about the company a little bit. It was founded in 2004 in Saint-Eustache, Quebec. Now, it was founded by three guys who worked at the Imperial Tobacco Factory, which closed down, and they decided, okay, we want to become entrepreneurs, so they bought a brewery. Now, all three of them lived on the South Shore, so they moved the brewery to Brossard Quebec, which is south of Montreal. And in 2006, people had wanted more from them. They wanted more flavor because beforehand, their brewery only brewed two beers. They brewed an amber beer and a blonde beer. Now, both of those beers used lager yeast. You know how that is. You can make good lager, but most of them aren't as flavorful as some of the ales you can come out with. So these guys decided they wanted to stay away from what the Quebec market did, which was Belgians, and they turned around and they decided we're going to start brewing ales in German styles. So they started experimenting with Germans, etc. Then people wanted even more, so then they started making Belgians, Americans, everything else. And about 2 years ago, they decided, okay, we're going to turn around and we're going to change things up again, and we're only going to use Quebec malt. So we want to stay as local as possible. Even now, some of their hops are Quebec. They just try and keep everything as local as they can. Now, almost every brew I've tried by them is pretty fantastic. So I'm hoping this one will be too. I'll give you a little bit of what the back says. It says the flavors you can taste. It's malted, has grapefruit, caramel, and orange blossom. Pairings would be Thai cuisine, hot sausage, mild cheddar. The malts would be 100% malts from Quebec, like I said. Pale, Munich, and Caram 60. Hops are going to be Centennial hops, Columbus hops, Cascades grown in Quebec. Again, like I said, they try and stay as local as they can. Now, then you have, it's dry hopped with Cascades from Quebec, Summit hops, Columbus hops. The IBU is 42. It can be aged for up to a year, which is pretty good, and it says serve at 6 to 10 degrees. I think it's about there right now, so yeah, we'll get into it. I am sorry about the pour. My camera fucked up when it was pouring, so what can you do? Some days that's how it works. But we'll top it off here. Now, even just topping it off, you see it gets a nice finger head. When I first poured it, it had 3 fingers of off-white head. It pours a cloudy, very cloudy orange color. Carbonation looks pretty lively. Now the head lasted quite a while, so I'm surprised. Yeah, we'll get into the smell. Man, the malt aromas coming off this are incredible. You get the caramel malts, and behind that you definitely have the pale malts and the Munich malts. The pale malts are coming out crackery, slightly bready. The hops are citrus. You get orange, grapefruit, like it said. Tiny bit of pine resin in the back, just a tiny bit. It's not really bad at all. So yeah, we'll get into the taste. Cheers. Right up front, you get big citrus. That grapefruit, that orange, it's really, really well done up front, right there. In the background, though, you still get a really strong malted beer. So, try this again. Yeah, I'm getting some leafy hops too, florally hops. I'd say it's like fresh lilac smell in the summer. It's that smell when they start to grow. The leafiness is almost like that. The aroma that comes off dandelion. And it's very crackery and slightly bready on the very back end, but very crackery, that malt. There is some caramel coming out. Caramel's not as strong on the flavor as it was on the aroma. But everything fits together really well. This is a really, really, really good pale ale. Honestly, I'm not getting that many bad beers with my reviews since I started them, huh? It's definitely a lighter end of a medium body. It's really close to a light body. Carbonation is... it's not creamy. I'd say it's closer to velvety. But it's really easy drinking. It's smooth. It's not too bitter with that 42 IBU. They've done a pretty good job here. There's a lot of lacing being left on the side of my glass. Yeah, so I'll come back in a few minutes and tell you what I think. See you in a minute. Alright guys, so we're back, and I know it doesn't look like I've drank a lot, but it's a 750 milliliter bottle and it's virtually empty now. So I've gone through a glass and I'll give you my opinions. As it warmed up, it's starting to get a little more florally and a little more leafy. It's pulling off that American style pale ale. Before it was a mix I found between British. I didn't bring it up, but I was going to after. Now it's getting that American hoppy, cleany feel. It's still balanced well with the malt. You still get that caramel in the back. You still get the crackery breadiness. It's just a lot more hoppy. It's closer to what an IPA would be. So my rating here, I'd give it 3.67 to 3.7 on 5. It's a good beer. It's definitely not the best. If I had a choice between pale ales, I would definitely take a Sierra Nevada before this. But it's definitely a good beer and worth buying if it's the only one there. Hell, even if it's not the only one there, there's a lot that are worse than it. So put it that way. If Sierra Nevada's there, I'll take Sierra Nevada. That's not going to happen much in Quebec, and this is definitely up there. So yeah, like, rate, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.